Have you ever sat alone in a quiet room, maybe with a cup of tea or just the sound of the wind outside, and felt the weight of time behind you? Not as something heavy, but as something earned. Years of giving, doing, showing up. The sacrifices no one saw. The dreams you shelved. The little moments you gave away so someone else could shine. And in those quiet moments, do you ever wonder, where do I end and where do they begin? You see, retirement isn't just the closing of a career. It's not just a date on the calendar. It's a sacred threshold, a moment that whispers, now it's your turn. Not just to rest, but to reclaim. Because for decades you've been the backbone, the planner, the provider, the peacemaker. You've been everything for everyone. But here's a quiet truth we rarely speak aloud. When you reach this season of life, there are things, precious things, you must no longer give away. Not even to those you love the most. Not because you're being selfish. Not because love has limits. But because some pieces of you are meant to stay yours. You can still love your children with a whole heart, still guide them, still cheer them on, but without erasing yourself in the process. Because giving everything isn't what makes you a good parent. Keeping something for yourself is what makes you whole. And so today, let's take a gentle walk into that truth. Let's talk about the unseen boundaries, the sacred spaces, the parts of you that deserve to be protected, especially now. Because this is not the end. It starts with your home. Not just the walls or the roof or the bricks you paid for over the years, but the feeling, the grounding, the sense that this place still belongs to you. So many parents, in a gesture of love and practicality, hand over their home too soon. A signature here. A deed transferred there. They believe it makes things smoother, easier for the future. And while the intention is noble, the reality, quietly, slowly, can begin to feel different. Suddenly, decisions are made without your voice. Renovations that don't reflect your memories. Furniture moved, rooms repurposed, rules shifted, and the space that once echoed with your rhythm begins to hum with someone else's. You may not even realize it at first. You smile and say it's fine. You adjust. You make do. Until one day you feel it, that subtle shrinking. That unspoken suggestion that you're now a guest in the very space you once poured your life into. But your home, it is not just real estate. It's the keeper of your years, your laughter, your tears, your traditions, your roots. And more than anything, your home should be your sanctuary, especially now. A place where your voice matters, where your comfort is non-negotiable, where you are never made small. Keeping it in your name isn't greed. It isn't difficult. It's wisdom. It's honoring everything you've built and ensuring you're still centered in the space that holds your life story. You can still plan, still prepared, still make thoughtful decisions for the future. But let those decisions protect your peace, not hand it away. Because where you rest, reflect, and rise each day should always be yours. And then, there's your time. This is where so many quietly begin to slip away. Because the world assumes that once you retire, your calendar is wide open, that you're always available. For every errand, every last-minute favor, every unexpected babysitting need. But here's the truth. Retirement doesn't mean you're suddenly on call. Your time, now more than ever, is sacred. It's the currency of your remaining years. And unlike money, you can't earn more of it. You only spend what you have left. That's why women and men who age with grace, peace, and fulfillment are the ones who learn to say no. Not out of selfishness, but from self-respect. They say yes only when their heart leans forward, not when their guilt drags them in. Yes, family matters. Grandchildren are joys. Helping others is beautiful. But your days are not obligations. They are opportunities. To rest when you need it. To travel if your soul desires it. To linger over coffee. To finally start painting again. To read. To breathe. To wander. To say, this hour belongs to me, because your time is not what's left over after everyone else's needs are met. It is the very rhythm of your new life, and if you don't guard it, you'll find yourself busy all over again, but this time without a paycheck, without boundaries, without balance. So protect your hours. Carve out your mornings. Preserve your afternoons. Fill your evenings with joy, not resentment. You gave decades to others. You showed up. You raised me. You sacrificed. Now it's your turn to receive your own attention. You've earned this. Next comes your money. This one is tender. Because when your child is struggling, truly struggling, every instinct in you rises to help. You've wiped tears, filled refrigerators, paid tuition, bailed them out of life's messes more than once. And now even in retirement, your heart still whispers, if I can help, I should. But here's the hard truth. Rescuing them too often can quietly rob them of the very strength they need to grow. And it can rob you of the security and peace you've worked your entire life to earn. Too many retirees drain savings, cash out pensions, and shoulder debts, not for themselves, but to patch the holes in someone else's boat. At first, it feels like love. But over time, it can breed entitlement. And underneath that, quiet resentment. On both sides, you are not a retirement plan. You are not a fallback fund. You are a person who deserves dignity in your later years. There's a difference between support and sacrifice. Support says, I believe in you and I'll help guide you. Sacrifice says, I'll carry it all even when it breaks me. One creates independence, the other, quiet resentment and dependency. So teach them, talk about finances, share your wisdom, offer advice before offering your account. And when you do give, let it come from joy, not fear or obligation. Let it be a gift, not a habit. Because at this stage, your money isn't just currency, it's protection, it's freedom. It's the key to healthcare, to travel, to simple peace of mind. You spent decades earning it. Now let it serve you too. Because staying afloat isn't selfish, it's survival. And you cannot pour from an empty cup. Then there's your peace. It's quiet, often overlooked. But once lost, it's hard to reclaim. At first, it might seem harmless, letting your children decide what's best for you, where you should live, what meals to eat, what routines to follow. They mean well and you want to make things easier for everyone. But slowly, almost invisibly, you begin to disappear from your own life. Your choices fade into theirs, your voice softens. You nod along to plans that don't feel like yours. And one day you wake up realizing you're not living, you're being managed. Let me tell you this. You do not need permission to hold on to your preferences, to decide where you go, what you do, who you see. Your peace is not a favor they grant. It's a birthright you protect. You've earned the right to sit in silence if that's what heals you. Or to laugh out loud, dye your hair purple, travel solo, or stay home with your garden. You've earned the right to say, this matters to me, and to be heard. Because when peace leaves, stress enters. And stress at this stage takes more than just energy. It steals years. So protect it like you would protect a child. Gently, fiercely, unapologetically. Your children can help. They can love. But they should not override. You still have dreams, still have wisdom, still have power, and the world still needs it. So speak up. Set boundaries. Create space for the life you want, not just the one that fits into someone else's plan, because your peace is non-negotiable. You should never give away your dreams. Somewhere along the way, many begin to believe that dreaming is for the young, that ambition has an expiration date, that if it hasn't happened by now, it never will. But let me tell you a quiet, powerful truth. This, right now, is your renaissance. Retirement isn't the end of the road. It's the clearing of the path. It's the first time in decades that your days are yours again. No clocks to punch, no meetings to attend, no deadlines but the ones you choose. So why surrender this sacred freedom to the expectations of others? Too many silence the whispers of their heart because the kids need help, or it's too late to start now, or no one would understand. But your dreams were never meant to fit into someone else's calendar. This is the time to write the book that's lived in your chest for years. To learn the dance you once told yourself you were too old to try. To board the plane, see the mountain, take the class, join the choir. To fall in love again, with yourself, with life, with what's possible. Because what you desire still matters. And what lights you up? That light doesn't just brighten your world. It guides others, especially the ones who love you. When your children see you daring to dream again, they learn that life doesn't end at 60. It deepens. Don't abandon your dreams in the name of duty. Nurture them in the name of legacy, because you're not done yet. Not by a long shot. And finally, your identity. This is the most sacred thing of all. Because long before you were mom or dad or grandma or papa, you were you. A soul with dreams, quirks, preferences, boundaries, and a voice all your own. And while life may have asked you to wear many roles, provider, protector, nurturer, those were roles, not your whole self. But here's what happens. Over time, those roles can start to take over. And if you're not careful, you begin to forget where the roles end and where you begin. Your identity isn't something you hand over in exchange for love. You are not just the helper, the fixer, the dependable one. You are an artist, a thinker, a lover of beauty, a keeper of stories, a seeker of peace. And when you give that away, when you allow yourself to become only what others need, only what fits in their world, you begin to vanish. You fade into the background of your own life. But you deserve to be seen, to be known, to be recognized not just for what you've done, but for who you are. That includes your humor, your boldness, your still growing spirit. Because this phase of life is not about disappearing. It's about returning to yourself. So no, this isn't about withholding love. It's about redefining it. Because real love, mature love, doesn't demand your everything. It doesn't ask you to sacrifice yourself to prove devotion. It honors what you choose to keep. It respects the space you need to breathe, to bloom, to be. You've spent a lifetime pouring into others. Now it's your turn to protect what's sacred, to prioritize your joy, to honor your boundaries, to explore who you are, not who you were for others, but who you still are within yourself. And to remember that even after 60, even after all you've lived and given and seen, you are still becoming, and that more than anything else is the gift your children truly need to witness. If this message stirred something in you, trust that feeling. It's not just a passing thought, it's your inner voice rising up asking to be heard again. So pause, breathe, and let it in. Like this video if it spoke to your heart, because your heart deserves to be spoken to. Subscribe if you're ready for more conversations that don't just inspire, but awaken. Reflections that help you reclaim your time, your peace, and your quiet, unstoppable power. And if you know someone, a friend, a sister, a father, a neighbor, who's silently carrying too much, trying to hold it all together while slowly letting themselves go, share this with them. You might just change their path today. In the comments, tell us, what's one thing you've decided to keep for yourself without apology? Let's fill the space with wisdom, with honesty, with strength. Let's remind one another that aging isn't about fading. It's about rising into who we were always meant to be. Growing older does not mean growing invisible. You are still here. You still matter. And the most beautiful truth of all, you're just getting started.